Hello, happy Wednesday. Welcome back to our poetry writing lessons for this week. I know that lots of you have really been enjoying the poetry writing this week, so well done, and thank you for all the poems you've been sending in to me and to your teachers. So today we're looking at a poem by a man called Wk4. I should have checked how to pronounce his name really before I started doing this video. And his poem is called Richmond Park, which is obviously a place he knows very well from his childhood, from his life living in London. And what I'd like you to do is read the poem first, and you can also watch a video of Joseph performing the poem himself, and I think he's performing it in the park. So it's quite different from the performances you've seen on the other days, which is quite nice. So read and or watch the poem. And then today you are going to try to write a poem about a favourite place that you have. So before you do that, we're going to talk a little bit more about it in this video, but also there is a grammar lesson today which is all about figurative language in poetry. Things like metaphors, similes, alliteration, personification. Now don't panic if you're thinking, oh yeah, no, I remember that, but I can't remember what all those are, and I get them confused. Because if you look at the grammar section on the on the website today, there is a grammar task, but there are also BBC bite-sized videos on similes and metaphors, personification and alliteration. So you can watch all of them if you want to. They're quite fun. They're kind of silly cartoons, really. You can watch all of them if you want to, or you can just watch the ones where you can't really remember what they are, and then have a go at the grammar task for today. So that should help you with your poetry writing. There's also a checklist to use today, so try and use those things when you're writing your poem. So I thought what I would choose to do to write about for my poem about one of my favourite places was the beach, because it's at the end of the road for me, from where I live. I go there a lot. I love living by the beach. I love living on the coast, and also it's a place that lots of us know, isn't it? Because we live in Worthing. So you could choose to write about the beach as well if you like. I don't mind. Or you could choose somewhere completely different to write about. It could be a place outdoors. It could be a place in your home inside. It could be somewhere you've been on holiday. It could be a place you sometimes visit, like, I don't know, your grandparents' garden or something. So let's have a look. Let's get started. Here I am again, trying to do the whole mirror thing. So I started off by just writing beach, and then I have had a go at writing some descriptive sort of poetic language for my poem. Sparkling turquoise, mirror-like sea, shimmering in the hot bright sunlight. Now, have a look at what I've written, have a think about it, and be honest. I know I can't hear you, but be honest. What do you think of it? If we were in class now, some of my class would be saying, it's a bit over the top, Mrs. Johnson. It's a bit long. It's a bit wordy. And I would be agreeing with them, because I think it's actually somebody who's thinking, right, I'm writing a poem. I must have some good descriptive adjectives. I can't use the word blue, I'm going to use the word turquoise, which is actually a really nice idea, because it is nice to use more sort of specific colour adjectives, isn't it, to paint a really clear picture for the reader of the poem. I'm gonna compare the sea to a mirror, which is a little bit like a simile. Instead of saying sea like a mirror, I've written mirror like sea. So it's quite a nice simile. Shimmering, that's a lovely, descriptive, powerful verb. In the hot, bright sunlight, nice expanded noun phrase. So there's lots of nice things there, but really it's just a bit over the top. It's a bit too much, it's a bit too flowery, it's a bit too descriptive. And if you read the poem and all the lines were like that, it wouldn't read very well. It would just be too clunky, there would be too many words. So I had a thought about taking these, because this doesn't matter, does it? This is almost like my plan. It doesn't matter that I've done this to begin with and it's a bit over the top, because now I can try and refine it and edit it down. So, oh yes, and that's what I forgot to say, because there's also a video to watch today, if you would like to, that Joseph Coelho has done for the BBC, where he's talking more about figurative language, and he does exactly that. He's describing something, I think it's a statue, and then he he takes out the words that are unnecessary and keeps in the words he really likes, just to refine it, because poetry is all about saying something with often as few words as possible to paint a really clear picture for the reader in their head. So here are some of my ideas that are a bit better, I think. Sorry, I'm not doing very well with this today. Oh, now my screen has frozen, so I can't actually see what it looks like. I am having a better day today with technology though, so this is the first thing that's gone wrong, so that's good. Right, so we've got a sea like glass. So that's nice, because I was thinking the sea looks a bit like a mirror. I've thought about what mirrors are made of. A sea like glass. Now I've put a little arrow in there because I thought, I wonder if I could use any of the year 6 words in there, like a descriptive words, to make it a bit more descriptive. And I thought I could use the word ancient maybe. I'd have to change that to an, but an ancient sea like glass. Don't need it. I might play around with both lines and see which one works best. A sea like glass or an ancient sea like glass. I've got an ocean mirror. So I've used a different word for sea. And this is a bit like a metaphor, isn't it really? Because the ocean isn't actually a mirror, but I'm saying it is in my poem. And sea shimmering turquoise. So I've used some of the words from up here, but just made it a little bit simpler, a little bit more, I think, more effective. So what you've really got to think about when you're writing your poem today, trying to use some of those poetic devices, some of that figurative language, if you can, and really painting a lovely clear picture for the reader so that when they're reading your poem, your images are really clear and obvious. Don't use too many words, don't make it too flowery and over the top, because then it's more confusing for the reader to know they've got the same picture in their head that you have. Okay, so I think that, sorry, that was probably a bit scary there. I think I moved a bit too close to the camera. Sorry about that. Oh my goodness, 7 minutes I've been talking for. I think it's time I stopped. And I think it's time you went and watched all the videos for today, had a go at the grammar task, and had a go at writing a poem. Please send them in to your teachers. We're loving receiving them. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.